Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our WFEO Women in Engineering Committee Team 1 series on the women, ladies, female retention and leadership in engineering. First of all, we would like to welcome our chairperson, Engineer Yetunde, to deliver her opening speech. For information, Yetunde is the chair of the Women in Engineering Committee of the World Federations of Engineering Organization. She's a civil engineer and is the executive director with the Special Committee for Rehabilitations of Public School in Lagos State. She has been chair of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Lagos branch and the founding executive of the Associations of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria. Let's welcome Engineer Yetunde.
Thank you, WIE. I don't think I need to introduce myself anymore after that. I just plan to say that. I'd like to welcome, on behalf of the committee members, I'd like to welcome all our guests and attendees to this event, especially the guest speakers, Funmilola, Ojelade, and Belen, Garcia, Pablos. I will leave the introductions and the of these wonderful women to the moderator when she gets there. This is the first in what we call a mini webinar series, because they're supposed to last for 30 to 40 minutes, and they're focusing on theme 1 of our strategic goals. There are 4 of them, and there are 4 overarching themes, and this is the first one. The other 3 can be found on the WFEO website, on the WFEO website. I will run through theme 1 quickly and give a brief executive summary. The strategic goals of theme 1 are to attract, retain, and promote a diverse future generation of technology talent. We are to champion the reduction of the gender-digital divide. We are to work with our partners, which is why we have a diverse group of ladies here today. We're to work with partners, provide guidance on creating and maintaining inclusive cultures. We are to extend the focus of our diversity and inclusion activity beyond gender to other underrepresented groups in the engineering profession. And we should use our membership to identify innovative policies, programs, measures and conditions needed to attain gender balance, eliminate violence, and promote inclusive representation in engineering. In the global economy, we know that engineers play a key role in the overall economic development of goals and regions. And the engineering sector is currently experiencing a huge skills gap, and this continues to widen yearly. So the skills, talents, perspectives, and capacities of females, particularly in the engineering and technical sector, are not adequately mobilized or optimized to be part of the critical mass needed to bridge those gaps. So we must have continuous capacity building efforts to address the shortage of some of these skills. And the efforts must embrace diversity and inclusivity in order to nurture a sustainable future skills pipeline. So the WFEO WIE, in partnership with various global organizations such as INWES, such as the UN, UNESCO, and various female PIs across the world, have come together to put together these webinars. We're going to do them, we plan to do them once a month, where we can address various issues that pertain to inclusivity, diversity, and retaining and promoting women in engineering. I know that in the different PEIs are have their own programs, but when we all come together, we achieve more. So welcome to this event. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Engineer Yetunde. Now, we would like to welcome our renowned speaker, Engineer Funmilola. She's going to bring to you a very interesting topic on retaining female tech talent, make it working. For information, Engineer Funmilola is the president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, APWEN. She joined the APWEN in 2003 and has since been a visible and effective leader in the associations at both executive and non-executive capacity. Outside of APWEN, Funmilola is manager, pre-press current manufacturing at the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting, the sole manufacturer of banknotes in West Africa. In 19 years of working, she progressed through the company's supply chain, handling various responsibilities in R&D, quality control, production planning, and procurement. Let's welcome Engineer Funmilola.
Thank you very much, Leong. Sorry, I won't be using my video because of where I am at the moment. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you once again for inviting me to have this. And I'll be speaking on this theme, female retention and leadership in engineering. I'll be speaking from my experience as president of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, because our #1 mission in that association is to increase the number of women that are practicing engineering, which means essentially we want to retain women in the engineering profession. So this really settles with me. Sorry, I can't use my video. They asked me to use my video. One of the main issue that we have noticed that prevents women from being retained in the engineering profession, one of the main things is lack of exposure, about the available opportunities, for lack of exposure to those opportunities, opportunity to practice engineering. So we see that once young women graduate from school and they try to get job for a while, they try to get placement for a short while and they can't get it, a little agitation sets in and they begin to look for ways to do that. I can say that because that happened to me. Shortly after I graduated and I finished my master's degree, I wanted to leave the government work where I was. And when I couldn't get anything immediately in the private sector, I wanted to do the accounting exams and become an accountant and become a chartered accountant. Because in my country, the exam is quite easy for engineers to pass because it's mainly calculations, So I wanted to do that. So I will have been one of those who would not have practiced accountants, who told me not to do that, it would not be nice for me to just leave a profession in it. So that lack of exposure to it actually prevents a lot of the women from practicing this profession. And in our association, one of the ways that we have been able to tackle that, or in which we are tackling that, is by introducing a program that can bring these opportunities to these young engineers so that they are aware about it. So we have this program that we called the APWEN Town and Gown, and essential areas of engineers, especially multinationals. Why multinationals? Because they are the ones that are in tune with the diversity and inclusion drive. So many of them are deliberately seeking to increase the number of women that are practicing engineering in their employ. So we seek these ones and invite them. They are the ones in the industry, which we call the town, and then the young engineers coming out of school with their graduation gown, we call it the gown. That's why we call it town and gown. So we bring them together, and these professionals, these captains of industries or their HR would speak with these engineers talking about a career, in their company. And then the engineers will ask questions, and then they know that, oh, so actually practice have studied. So we do it for students from their penultimate year penultimate graduation year up to like 3 years post-graduation. That is the group that we target, so that they are aware of these opportunities, and then they can focus and know where, for example, they will tell you, if you don't have this class of degree, we will not even employ you. So some of them, will begin to study harder, so that because they have a focus now where they want to go. And when you have a goal, it's not too difficult to do that. And one of the things that has done for us is that now we have many of these multinationals coming to our association asking to employ female engineers. So we give them the CVs because we have connected them. It's easy for them to invite them for interviews. Even when those girls don't apply, they get invited for interviews and they get employed. That is the success that we have recorded in. And of course, for leadership in engineering, it also requires the mentorship of the older ones. We have a mentoring program whereby we attach the young ones to the older ones to pull their hands up, because many times it is not your class of degree that determines whether you eventually become a leader. Now the soft skills have to apply by the time you begin to practice your engineering. Into those soft skills of making yourself visible, making your work seen. Don't just work in a corner. Those are the things that will actually take them to that leadership position. And we need to make that, give them that exposure through personal mentors, so that they can get to learn those things and apply it as they work, and then be able to climb the ladder quickly. I think I've said my time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Engineer Funmilola. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question to ask the panelists, you can put in the Google Sheet, and we are going to raise all your inquiries to the panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, the next speaker is Engineer Belen. She's one of the co-founders of Blue Ocean Leading Drivers, a global organization that selects carefully and supports high-value startups and work on green solutions for Industry 4.0, transport and urban development. She's a certified business coach at the European Union Blue Invest Readiness Assistant. She's also the chair of Invest Europe and one of the Spanish representatives of IIE and WIE Committee of WFEO. Let's welcome Engineer Belen.
Okay, I'm going to speak about networking. And first of all, I would like to thank WFEO for giving me this opportunity. A little bit of backstory. It took me about 20 years to realize how important networking is, not only for personally, but also for my job. Thankfully, I had been doing it unknowingly, and it really helped in my career. So I would like to debunk some myths about networking and, help a little bit of how to do it, because I'm a shy person, the kind of person who sits on a corner when, left to their own devices. And that's not how we should carry out our business and present ourselves. Sometimes networking is seen as insincere, as something you do to achieve something with an ulterior dark motive, and it's not like that. Some people think it's only about politics and getting ahead and, tell everybody how good you are, or something that it's done after you've done your real job, or how many contacts you have, and that it's only for extroverts. That's not true. It's something to improve yourself, to improve your job, and to do a better job. We've got some obstacles. Some are that we have few human interactions. It's a trend that we tend to rely a lot on emails or text instead of human interactions. And this was a trend before Corona. And mainly young people, they tend to text instead of phoning or doing a video conference. So we have to improve our human interactions because humans crave human interactions and rely on that and are more confident on that. Also, there are some more specific to women, like in contrast to men that, you know, say what they want, they have no trouble asking about it. Women tend to be more shy about it and ask about what they can do for the other person. So don't be afraid to ask, because if the rapport with the other person is good, they probably listen. And, you know, if you don't ask, you already have a no for an answer. Many women don't want to attend events after work because the balance between your house and your work is difficult, and many women are still the primary caregivers. So it's about finding another, you know, way to do this. Women also tend to avoid networking in social settings because they feel that their behavior may be misconstrued. So if you think it's going to be misconstrued, you know, build a wall and say, no, this is work. This is not, you know, a party. This is not us having fun. What to do? Work. First of all, work. You have to be a good worker. You have to prove yourself as a good worker. I mean, yes, some people do advance in their career just by networking, but in the end, people are going to notice they are not a good engineer. So work. First of all, that. Support. There was a study that showed that if you have a support network that includes females, at least 2 or 3 females, your career is going to be better. And you don't have to have, you know, someone higher ranking, but only the sharing of experiences is going to help you. And you are going to support other people that are going to remember that. Support your coworkers, support your bosses, support students. Many times we don't remember the students, and they are going to be your coworkers or maybe your bosses. So support the students and go. First of all, define your objectives. What do you want from co-working and what do you need? And this is not only in a personal career-oriented way, but also about your job. Your job needs help from other people, from your clients, or from your providers, or from a university. So define what you want and who do you need to talk to. You have to know that. And you have to have a name. I want to change my jobs, or I want to improve the quality of the job I do. If you don't know what to say in a social setting because you are shy, prepare it. I mean, we are not people, many people are not used to improvise. So write a little something like startups do about who are you and what's your job, and rehearse it. And next time someone asks you in a social setting, in a networking setting, you can give them an answer. So just small phrases. So you know what to say and you're not blank, like caught in the headlights. Networking, it's part of your daily job. As I say, it will help your job because you will make contacts that will improve your job, not only your career. So don't see it as something selfish, because it also will help your current job. It will help you make a better job. Join or create a network, the WFEO, INWES. There are plenty of networks that you can join or you can create, or even, you know, your university friends can be your network. So be sure to have a network because they are good for you. And also follow up people. If you've been talking to someone on an event, make some follow-up after the event, tell them, you know, just a line. It was nice to meeting you, or happy holidays, or, you know, let them be remembered. That was, oh, she still remembers me. That's great. So, you know, human interaction, show people you care. Even if it's very simple, even if it's twice a year, let them know you care. Because that is something that we as humans like. And, you know, short sum up, networking is good for you and for your job. Know yourself, have a little something you can say about yourself and about your company. Make sure to belong to a network because it will help you grow, and human interaction matters. Thank you for your attention. And if you want to network via LinkedIn, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Belen. Ladies and gentlemen, for information, the Women Leadership Series is our Team One proposal. We are trying to create an engineering workforce capacity building initiative to increase diversity and inclusivity. Basically, we would like to work with partners, provide guidance on creating and maintaining inclusive culture. We also want to create opportunity for everybody to share, to network. Okay, for information, we received quite a lot of questions from our friends here. The first question our friends would like to know is, so far, what are the biggest challenges in your life? Can we invite, first of all, we would like to invite Engineer Funmilola to share your experience, your greatest challenge in your life. Engineer Funmilola. Okay, while waiting for her to unmute, shall we invite Engineer Belen to share your challenges?
I think my biggest challenges is to balance the professional and the personal life. Yeah, I think that's the biggest challenge. Because
any biggest failure you have encountered?
I was very lucky that when my child was a baby, my husband was able to take care of her, and instead of sending her to kindergarten or something like that. But I would have liked to spend more time with her. Yes, definitely.
Okay, shall we invite our chair ladies, Yetunde, to share your challenges as well?
You're muted.
Oh. Yeah, Yetunde.
Yeah, I'm muted now, yes. The challenges in engineering, sometimes I find the men to be extremely competitive, and they just really they just want to be your boss, even if you are their boss. That's in the workplace. The other thing, they really, I think what it would be, and you deal with that, but the greatest challenge I would think also would be the home-work balance, getting that balance between working at, keeping your home running with the children when they're young, and being effective and impactful in the workplace. I think those would be that would be the greatest challenge, getting that balance. Coming from work, going to sites, being in the office, and having everything ready at home as well. I think that would be the greatest challenge. And it seems to be that we all share the same challenges everywhere in the world, women engineers.
Thank you.
If I may add quickly, I have loved Belen's presentation, because networking is sometimes so difficult, and men sometimes get the wrong ideas. So I love that we should just be bold and go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we invite Engineer Funmilola to share? Or the Secretariat can contact her later. Okay, if you are given a chance, you are given a choice. Come, yeah, Madam Funmilola, share your challenges.
Okay. Sorry,
Yes.
the question again, that if I was given a chance to?
Can you share your challenges that you have encountered?
Okay, the challenges I've encountered are essentially in rising to leadership positions. As a young engineer, I was growing like that, but I didn't have those soft skills that I needed, which is one of the things that made us to have these mentoring sessions now. Some of those soft skills, like doing your work and making sure that the right person in authority is aware of your work. You know, those soft skills as making yourself visible or seeking a position that can make you visible. So rising to leadership positions has been a challenge, because those who knew how to do that, even when they were not as brilliant as me, they got promoted, you know, to leadership positions. Okay. And I wouldn't say I really had challenges because I'm a woman. I didn't think it was because I was a woman. I just thought it was because I was not pressing the right buttons. I was not doing the right things, being in the right place at the right time.
Okay. Madam, there's a question.
Visible, yeah. Looking for a way to give more for the organization than the assignment given to me. You know, those are all the things that can help you to rise quickly and get you noticed. So you need to get noticed. They need to know you are there, no matter how hard you are working. If they don't know you are there, they are not going to remember to call your name when they get to the boardroom. So that is the challenge I've had. And that is what I'm trying to help others not to have.
Okay, if you are given a chance, you still want to be a ladies?
Yes, I still want to be. I'm pleased with who I am. And I think that for anyone, you first need to accept yourself the way you are. Even if you're a man and you don't accept yourself, you are not going to progress.
There's a question from
I'm very pleased with myself.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with myself as a woman. And if I have another chance, I will remain like that.
Okay, there's a question from the Institutional Engineer Tanzania Women Chapter for you. How is the turn-up of companies coming to share the opportunities to your graduate? How do you match the mentor-mentee? Do you consider hard skill or soft skill?
Okay, thank you very much. As for the companies that we invite, I'll tell you that the lockdowns of the COVID-19 actually came to our advantage in a way, because originally the program was supposed to be a physical event, and we'll invite those companies. But because they will need to travel, maybe just like 3 or 4 of them were agreed. But by the time the lockdowns came on, we had it as a virtual event where we put them in breakout rooms, the young engineers in breakout rooms to these companies. So how we do is that we just send them a simple email telling them this is what we are looking for. We have this program, we have these young engineers, we'd like you to be mentors to them. And then for your role in doing this, we'll give you this award, a mentor partner award for doing this. So we just put that, it's just a simple certificate that we display on screen. It's a virtual certificate that we display on screen, but they are so pleased with it. You know, they put it on their website. We are helping to mentor young female engineers. That is bragging rights for them. So they really want to do that just because we offer them that. So we get like 9-10 companies coming to mentor our young engineers each time we have these programs.
Yeah, thank you. So the same.
Sorry, there's another one.
The same question to Engineer Belen. If you are given a chance, will you still want to be a ladies?
Yes, I would like to think I wouldn't be very different as a man, but character-wise, I mean. But yeah, I think I would still be a woman, knowing that some things are more difficult and some just different. But yeah, I think I would still be a woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we received quite a lot of questions, but we need to proceed to the closing remarks from the engineer Alice. Alice is a nuclear engineer, key account engineer for Latin America. So let's welcome Alice for your closing remarks.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. First of all, I thought that last question was very interesting. And before I close, I just want to answer that I would also would still like to be a woman. And I think even though we face more challenges, unfortunately, due to gender, we also here, this community together, are putting ourselves in collaboration to change that scenario. So I'd like to think that even though we face more challenges, we are working towards change that for other women. And because we face ourselves, we know the points that we need to address. So it's yes, I would still as well like to be a woman. But first of all, it was a pleasure to hear such incredible women in the remarks in this important topic, and so inspirational the tips that we received today. In our society, as we talked now in the second question, there is still disproportional opportunities depending on your gender, and even in some regions in other sub-represented groups. And when we talk about engineering capacity building, we are talking about using that potential of these groups, and when we talk about inclusivity, of course, in diversity in engineering capacity building, we are talking about developing and using that potential that these groups have and bringing in diversity of perspective. And diversity of perspective includes brings in innovation, bringing new solutions, brings a lot of things that we wouldn't be considering without those groups. If you have only a biased vision or perspective about a topic, the solutions can be improved when we use other perspectives of these other groups. So when we talk about engineering capacity building and in diversity, that we are talking about improving the engineering sector. And by using that potential that women and other sub-represented groups have, and that sometimes is not being leveraged because of lack of retention, because of challenges that they are facing, because of women are not selecting that as a potential professional due to other issues. And when we talked about leadership and female retention, is exactly, we are talking about creating and nurturing a healthy environment where these women can thrive. We are talking about creating policies and opportunities for them to not only stay in the sector that they already selected, but bringing in new potential to the sector and allow them to grow and develop and reach higher levels in their career. So, and today we were able to hear from two amazing women professionals, engineering professionals, that with tips and with topics that are very important for us as a person and also for organizations to look into. We heard from Engineer Funmilola about the importance of exposure, the importance of supporting others to be visible, and how visibility is essential in your career. We heard also about mentoring and the example that is needed also to support women to go forward. From Engineer Belen, we heard about the importance of network and several interesting tips on how we could improve and how network can improve our career, and how important it is also to have a support network, to be part of support organizations, and to help each other as we grow, as we move forward. And we heard about the challenges. Work-life balance is a very big challenge that we briefly discussed here. And I particularly believe that this is a cultural challenge that needs to be addressed, not only by us trying to maintain this challenge, but us also demanding policies and culture mindset change on the roles and responsibilities that women and men have, and to support maintaining this work-life balance and allow women to grow. So it was incredible opportunity to be here, to hear all this, and I hope everyone as myself are taking something and to think about and to include in our activities, and also to pursue helping female retention and supporting them to grow into higher levels of leadership. we have the WFO, the Women in Engineering Committee, has this effort of looking into ways on how can we support this to happen in several engineering organizations that are part of our organization, and supporting the world to be a place where more women can go into engineering and bringing all the potential that they have. And if you participating here wants to get in touch and wants to know more, we have a website and we are open to have further discussion. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Alice. So for information, our next Women Leadership Series will be on 22nd of October, and we are going to have the Dawn. Professor Dawn will be talking about the inclusion and diversity and building the future talent pool. And we also have Prof. Shima from INWES. So let's welcome you again to our October series. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Yeah, the rest, can you stay back for group photo?
Bye.
Bye-bye.